And we are live. Hey, I'm Matt, a live streaming YouTuber, and here we are at a place called The Peak in Hong Kong. Join Travel the World with Matt as I take you on the adventures of a lifetime. And we're live. We're here at the Noonday Gun. It's on our left hand side. It's going to be fired in about 15 minutes. This is the former naval artillery piece mounted on a small enclosed site near the Causeway Bay Typhoon Shelter. This is the Causeway Bay Typhoon Shelter. Oh, hey Adriana. And when there's a hurricane or a typhoon here in Hong Kong, all the boats are protected. That you can see at the back here. There's a raised platform of rocks, and that stops the rough seas getting into this area. So all the boats here are protected. Now, to get to the Noonday Gun is actually quite difficult. And oh, and Adriana, don't worry, I started a bit late, so it's quite a challenging place to get to. You actually have to go through this tunnel over here. It's not very well signposted. It's a very strange way to get here, but you go underground. There's a parking lot in that building over there, and then you get to this beautiful spot, which is otherwise quite inaccessible. So I want to show you quickly where exactly we are. We are on Hong Kong Island, and I've got a map here to show you. So we're here on Hong Kong Island, and I've drawn a little arrow to show you where we are. So we're on the eastern side of Hong Kong Island. There's a little arrow in black, and we're here in the Typhoon Shelter with all the boats. Now, the Typhoon Shelter, actually, about almost 10% of Hong Kong is on reclaimed land, and the Typhoon Shelter actually, today it sits right here, but in the past it actually was all the way on the other side of the road, and slowly but surely the land has been reclaimed and it sits here right now. So let's talk about the Noonday Gun. Okay, it's owned and operated by Jardine Matheson. They're a huge, British international conglomerate with many different businesses, and they own and manage the Noonday Gun. And it's fired every day at noon, and it's become quite a tourist attraction, although it is quite it's one of those little hidden tourist attractions that's quite challenging to get to. So let's talk about how it all started. The tradition originated over an incident in the 1860s. Jardine's officers were located here, and they had a private militias that would fire a gun to salute and welcome important businessmen coming to Hong Kong from overseas. And the senior British naval officer, at one point, he got super annoyed with the sound of this gun going off, and he didn't know of such a tradition. Let me zoom in, and we're gonna have a look at that gun right there. There we are. And he had just moved to Hong Kong, and he was very annoyed with this gun going off at random times, and so as a result, Jardines was ordered as a penalty to fire the gun every day at noon in perpetuity. So, 1860s, somebody gets annoyed, and here we are every day with the gun getting set off. Now, I want to tell you something interesting. Back in Cape Town, we've also got a Noonday Gun that fires every day at 12. Now, our one is loud, and you can hear it over the whole city. But the one here in Hong Kong unless you're really close by, you don't really hear it. And I was thinking about it. Actually, I've got a picture here of the one in Cape Town that I'll share with you. So our one's a little bit older. It's from 1806. Here it is. Got Table Mountain in the background. There it is going off. So ours sits on a hill, and it's been running since I think it's 1806. This one's been running since 1860. And there are a couple of them all over the world. But the one in Cape Town, because it sits on a hill, and Cape Town's not as built up as Hong Kong, when you hear it at noon, the whole of the city hears the gun go off. But here, the one in Hong Kong, probably because of all these massive buildings that surround us, and because we're right next to a highway, you don't really hear the sound. I've never heard the sound of the Noonday Gun go off, except when I've been right here to witness it. Now, in World War II, in 1941, the Japanese invaded Hong Kong and then occupied Hong Kong, and they actually took away the gun. They dismantled it, and it was lost. So the one you see today is not the original one from the 1860s. But fortunately, after the war, after the occupation was over, the British forces regained Hong Kong in 1945, and the Royal Navy provided Jardines with a new 6-pound gun, which continued the tradition. And on the 1st of July 1947, the Noonday Gun was back in operation. So there was a bit of a gap from 1941 to 1947. Now, this is the interesting part. I talked about the gun in Cape Town, which you can hear all over the city. The one here, there were complaints that the gun was too loud. So in 1961, the Marine Police replaced the 6-pound gun with a 3-pounder that was actually involved in the First World War. Now you can see, here's the officer coming. Now let me tell you a little about what we're going to see today at the firing event. So there he is. That's a Jardine's guard. He's going to ring the bell shortly to signal the end of the forenoon watch. This is a practice which dates back to the time when Jardine's main offices and warehouses were located here. And then the guard marches up to the Noonday Gun and fires it. So he's going to fire it shortly. And now what I want you to do, if you can take a photo, if you can get a picture of him, of that moment when it fires, that would be amazing. And if you can share it on the old Hago guide group, I would love. So if you can he's lighting it right now, the second. So prepare to be shocked. I'll try to hold everything steady. So he's going to fire. It's going to go off very shortly. I'm a little bit scared now. It's been lit. So see if you can capture that moment when it goes off. Whew, my heart is pounding. So there he is. And it's about 5 minutes until the gun goes off. So he's just going to wait there. And after he's fired it, he's going to ring the bell again, and then he's going to walk out. And the actual area where the Noonday gun is locked up, and so we can't access it. So we're accessing it. Like if I just go a little bit back now, you'll be able to see. We're looking at through everything. All of us. There's a couple of tourists that have gathered here. We're all looking at it through the gates. So in a way, I'm quite happy that this is not going to be too loud, because we are afraid to get this shot. We have to be pretty close. Now let me tell you about a little bit more about the Noonday Gun in Cape Town. We've got about 5 minutes before this one goes off. So the Noonday Gun in Cape Town dates back to 1806, and it was first used as a warning signal for ships anchored in Table Bay. This is where it is located. I'll show you the one in Cape Town, and it was also fired from the Castle of Good Hope in Cape Town. It has since been moved to its present location, the one you see right now. That's on the Signal Hill, where it overlooks Cape Town, the harbour and the bay. And today the gun is actually fired electronically from the South African Observatory, and its accuracy comes from an atomic clock which you can watch at the line battery on Signal Hill every day except Sunday. So I'm gonna take that photo away. So Cape Town one has a beautiful location. So when the guard moves and goes to light it, then we know it's gonna go off. Now if you've got the postcard function or a function to take photos, I'm just gonna give you some opportunities to take different pictures here, some nice, great shots. Now I'm actually going to move. We've got I think we've got like 2 minutes. I want to go to the other side and give you a different angle. Oh, he's going to light it. Never mind. Let's go. I don't want to miss the moment when it goes off. Okay, it's due to go off in 2.5 minutes. Let's see if I can go around the other side. I was a bit nervous that he was going to fire it. I'm going to just do a stealth run to the other side. We can get a different angle. There we go. And then I'm going to move right to the... Okay, there he is ringing the bell. So that means he's gonna go fire it now. Oh wow. Oh, that's smell of the gunpowder. It's wafting this way. It's got like a sort of a sulfur smell. And he rings the bell. And then he's going to open the gate and leave. Wow. Yeah, you're never quite prepared for that gun to go off. But what a moment. Now, if you didn't capture the moment, that's okay. With YouTube, you can go back and take a still frame of that exact moment and get it out. And I would love for you to take a shot of that exact moment when it got fired. And let's go inside. Let me take you inside quickly and then we will finish. So you can see we're located right here next to the highway. It's very loud, very busy. And now we've got access into the area where the Noonday Gun was shot. Definitely there's a smell of like sulfur, like rotten eggs, the moment after the gun was shot. And now we're lucky to get some access for a few minutes, and we'll take some great postcards. Here we are with the bell that gets ringed before the Noonday Gun goes off. I'm gonna hold it there for a minute. And let's get a nice wide angle all the way from down here. It's really got a beautiful looking out at the typhoon shelter. Look at that, that's the perfect shot, the perfect photo. It's almost like we're here just for ourselves, no one in shot. Wow, what an awesome moment. And I'm gonna go down a little bit. There we go. Whew. I've been here before and watched the Noonday Gun, but every time that explosion. And we're just gonna go down here. Wow, so I want to say thank you so much for joining me today here at the Noonday Gun. I hope you didn't get the shock of your life like I did. And yeah, join me next week. I think I'm going to be talking about what I wish I knew before climbing Machu Picchu. And so that's where we will be next week. We'll be talking about next week, and then the following week we're going to Hong Kong's newest and largest like arts district, and that is just an amazing space to be in. So I'm really excited to take you there. So thanks so much for joining me, and I'm going to leave you here in Causeway Bay with a beautiful view overlooking the harbour. On the other side is Kowloon. Here we are on Hong Kong Island. So keep exploring, keep adventuring, and I'll see you next time. Bye, and thanks for joining. And please post your photos on. You can either post them in my Facebook group, which the link is in my YouTube channel, or on the Big Hago group. That would be great. Bye for now.